Tom. May I come in?
Hello, Faith.
Been thinking about you all day. How are you?
Oh, I'm much better. You smell good.
Thank you. Believe it or not, I thought it'd be a good idea if I came home from work early and took a nice nap.
Did you have a long day?
I just couldn't keep my mind on anything. I just kept wondering what my husband was doing.
Well, your husband was just staring out the window. Maybe the same old city to everybody else, but to me, it's amazing right now.
Oh, of course. What else did you do besides stare?
Oh, I sorted out some papers, and I spoke to Poppy for a while. Faith, I'm convinced that she's not related to the Donahues in any way that would be dangerous to me.
I don't think she has anything to do with the Donahues.
Except that she's her double in every way, even her voice.
Well, Tom, I think you need to concentrate on something else.
Easier said than done now. I believe I'm in a state of shock.
Of course you are. But you're well again. And I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
How can two people be so alike? Identical.
There are some things that we have to accept without an explanation. Like love and loving.
But there has to be an answer, Faith. I hope the private detectives can come up with something.
Tom.
Yeah?
Come sit by me. You know, something has been going round and round in my mind today. I just kept remembering what happened in the parlor last night, when I proposed to you.
Right after that, I saw Poppy for the first time.
No, right after that, you kissed me. And I thought you believed me when I said, I love you, and I'm happy to be your wife, and I want our marriage to be a real marriage.
Faith, I believe you. And you know that I love you, too. But right now, I'm having a real problem unraveling this mystery of Terry and Poppy.
Well, if Poppy bothers you that much, Tom, then we have a serious problem.
I'm sorry.
In the words of Miriam when I was growing up, sorry just wasn't enough. You have to do something. And I think the first thing that we have to do is find somewhere else for Poppy to live outside of this house.
No.
The receptionist said you weren't to be disturbed. However, this is important.
Hello, Ray.
I have a request.
All right.
To put it quite simply, could you possibly keep your wife away from my husband-to-be? I find her headlong pursuit of Frank somewhat irritating.
All right, now just wait a minute. Jillian is not pursuing Frank.
I happened to be at his office today when she dropped by to see him.
Today?
Mm-hmm. This very afternoon. On an errand of mercy for her sister, it seems that Jillian would now like Frank to slow down the naturalization process for Tom.
Well, Faith is in love with Tom. They have problems. Tom is one of them. I mean, it's only right that Jill do what she can to help.
Why wasn't Faith seeing Frank? Or Tom himself? Why is it always Jillian on the phone to Frank, running over to his office?
It is never always Jillian anything.
I'd like to know what else you call it.
All right, Ray. Jillian has an old dependency on Frank, and she did call him once when she was very sick from the hospital.
Seneca, I don't want you to defend her. Just keep her away from Frank.
You know, one visit to his office does not constitute headlong pursuit.
And burying your head in the sand does not constitute good sense. She will grab at any and every excuse she can find for seeing him.
It's impossible that she just was trying to do something for his sister.
There are plenty of other people who could have helped Faith. Seneca, for heaven's sake, will you pay attention to this?
Believe me, I am.
Frank and I have, we've reached an agreement that before the wedding and after it, he is going to make a specific effort to avoid seeing Jill.
Oh?
Yeah. You don't always enjoy advertising the fact that your fiancé may still have a hang-up on another lady, but in any case, he did make that agreement, and he's been doing his best to honor it.
Which is why you were so upset when she visited him.
Does seem to be rather defeating everything I've worked for. Frank really does love me. Given enough time, he won't have any more thoughts about Jill.
So he's staying away from her now.
Yes, and I think it would be best for all concerned if you were to get a similar agreement from her.
I don't need that kind of agreement, Ray.
You need something. And I am sick to death of chasing her away.
All right, okay. Now, I am not in a mood to listen to any more criticism of Jillian. I understand your point. Let's leave it at that.
No. No, I brought you this information so you could take some action. What are you going to do about it?
Ray, if you expect me to denounce Jillian, you're mistaken.
All right, do me a favor. When you go home tonight, you say very casually to your wife, "Hi, how are you? What did you do today?" And I will be stunned if she even mentions the fact that she went to Frank's office or that she and I had a discussion about that visit.
Jillian will tell me the truth.
Will she really? I wouldn't count on it, Seneca. Jack, I'm sorry we're late. Come on.
Oh, well, at least he's arrived.
Yeah, I suppose he might have gone downstairs for a bite to eat. Do you think we should check down the restaurant?
Well, the bar.
No, we might miss him. I'll have him paged.
You talking about me?
There you are. I am so glad to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you too, Mayor. Hi.
Hello, Mr. Finale. It's nice to have you with us.
We've had the most amazing afternoon. You won't believe what's happened.
Well, I think I'll slip along and freshen up a bit while you bring Jack in the picture. 45 minutes?
Fine.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
Yeah, well, I was a little sorry myself.
Okay. How mad are you?
On a scale from 1 to 10, about a 7.
I wish you weren't.
Well, I wish I weren't, too. But I came all the way to Washington at your invitation, Mary. When I got here, I found an empty room, and then I cooled my heels for about 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, until Bob Reed finally got himself untangled from some Senate business and phoned with your message.
Oh, Jack.
So then when I found out that it wasn't exactly your fault that I was left sitting here for 2 hours, even so, let's just say it wasn't the way I planned to spend the day.
It's not the way I intended either.
I guess not. Well, how was the justice?
Wait a minute. I hate it when you're this mad.
Yeah, well, I don't much like it myself.
What did you do while I was gone?
My first thought when I heard that you were out interviewing a Supreme Court justice was to turn around and head back to New York.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, well, Bob offered to slip me an advance copy of Frank's new speech on child health care. So I went over and picked that up. Did you like the judge?
He was dear. He answered every question, didn't evade, and I have the most terrific segment.
Well, then the day wasn't a total loss. And we do have tonight. What's the matter?
About tonight.
Uh-huh. You and Thatcher, 45 minutes.
It's something we never expected. When we finished the interview, the justice... squeeze us into a schedule, there was still material we needed. Without my even asking, he phoned his law clerk and asked if he would...
You don't have to explain, Mary.
I do. The only time his law clerk had was this evening, and I grabbed for it, Jack. It'll only be for an hour, I'm sure.
Sure. Fine.
Oh, honey, please.
I'm going home. Was swell seeing you, Mary.
Don't.
Let go, Mary.
I want to be with you so much.
Maybe when you, get home.
I mean, tonight.
You, have an appointment with the law clerk of a Supreme Court justice. Even I know how important that is, Mayor.
Please wait for me.
I did. This afternoon.
Oh, Jack.
Look. I did the best I can. Trip was a nice idea. It just didn't work out. That's all. See ya.
You can't just send her away.
I'm not saying we should send her away.
But we have to know who she is and why she's so like Teresa.
You have to know.
But she hasn't done anything wrong. In fact, she's been very generous while she's been here. I thought you liked her.
I do like her. But, Tom, I don't like the effect that she has on this house, and I don't like the effect that she has on you and me.
That's not her fault. It's me and my old feelings.
Old feelings that you have about a girl that died 7 years ago. Feelings that should be put to rest. Now, Poppy Lincoln is a girl from the Home Training for the Blind, from an American orphanage who has nothing to do with Teresa Donahue.
All right.
Yet she's brought Terry back to life for you, hasn't she?
Yes.
Okay, so she is the confusion, and she's coming between things that have become so lovely for us.
Faith, I can't let go right now. It's like having Terry back.
Tom!
I know, I don't understand it myself, but we can't just forget about this. I have to know.
Know what?
Well, know who she is, where she's come from, why.
Tom, she is an American girl who has a striking resemblance to a girl that you knew in Ireland a long time ago.
She isn't ordinary.
But she isn't Terry come back to life.
I know.
Well, there are moments when I'm not so sure you do.
Faith, I'm not entirely insensitive. I realize that she's been a distracting element in this house.
Distracting element?
Yes, but I have to understand it before we can even think about sending her away.
All right, okay. Suppose I suggest that we don't put her out of our lives forever, but we find a place for Poppy to live. I'll pay for it.
I don't want her that far away. Not yet.
Can you understand that I feel like I am living in a house with 4 people? You and me, Poppy and Teresa? And I think it is terribly important for our marriage right now that 2 of those people live elsewhere.
Faith, please, just give me some time.
No. I want you to give me some time.
But I need to work this out.
You're letting Poppy's resemblance to Teresa become a total obsession.
You want me to let go. I want to let go. I can't, not yet.
What I want is for you to be in the present with me.
But I am, and I'm here with you right now.
Are you?
Yes.
All I thought about all day, I just kept wondering, what's my husband doing? How is he? And I looked so forward to coming home and being with him.
Yes.
And hoping that you were anxious to see me.
Yes.
Well, I thought we didn't get any sleep last night. And I thought it was a good idea if I came home and we took a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe rested together.
Faith, how soon do you think we'll have the report from the private detective?
I don't know.
If they can only come up with something, explain where Poppy has come from, find out who her family is, it might explain things.
I suppose so.
You know, I keep thinking that there's some connection with the Dunhuth.
You haven't heard a word I've said, have you?
Of course I have.
No, you haven't.
You've been wanting to take a nap. Look, why don't you go and have a sleep and, well, I want to make some notes for the private detectives, and I might as well do it while it's fresh in my mind.
Hi.
Hi.
How did it go today?
Fair. My back was acting up a little bit.
Did you pull it?
No, it just started to hurt this afternoon.
Any emotional strain?
Whose life is free of emotional strain. But you know what I did? I came back here and buried myself in all these law books. I mean, there is something marvelously therapeutic about retreating into a world of ideas.
Safety of the ivory tower. So, what was the emotional strain?
Seneca,
What?
you're pushing me.
Just asking you what you did today.
Why?
Well, I'm curious. Listen, if I'm prying, just say so.
You're not. It's just that there is nothing to tell about today.
Jillian, do you remember a conversation we had a while back about mutual honesty, real honesty, not half-truths or evasions?
Sure.
Are you being completely honest with me now?
All right. I went to Frank's office. I wanted to talk about Tom's naturalization. I had a run-in with Ray, and I guess that's why my back was hurting.
And you weren't going to tell me that.
Am I supposed to tell you everything that I do and everyone that I see?
When it involves a man with whom you had a long love affair. Did you see Frank?
Briefly.
Mm-hmm.
You see? That's why I didn't bring it up, because I want to avoid this kind of conversation.
Why?
Because I have a right to some privacy.
Jillian, I don't expect you to tell me every little thing that goes on in your life, any more than I would want to report to you that way.
Good, because I'm not interested in reports.
Well, you know perfectly well there are certain areas of your life that are extremely important to me.
Are you setting up my standards for living?
I expect you to live by honorable standards.
Oh, be careful, Seneca. Because that sounds as if you're accusing me of dishonorable behavior.
Well, I would hope that you would inform me before establishing a relationship with an ex-lover.
I am not establishing a relationship.
Well, then why were you there? I mean, what was the purpose of it? You're married to me. Frank is marrying Ray. What was the point of the visit? And don't tell me it was because of Tom Desmond. Because he could make an appointment with Frank anytime he wanted to.
I went to ask Frank to delay Tom's naturalization. Now, you stop drilling me.
I'm sorry. No, it is inconceivable to me that you don't see that a husband has a perfectly legitimate right to ask his wife not to see her former lover.
Are you going to tell me whom I may and may not see?
No.
But you are where Frank Ryan is concerned.
Yes.
And what about the rest of the Ryans? You going to tell me not to see them, too?
Do you feel there's a reason why you shouldn't?
No.
But you do feel that there's a reason why you shouldn't see Frank.
You are asking me for a promise, and clinically you have that right. But I will tell you, it makes me angry, and it offends me. But apparently you need to hear those words, so all right. I will tell you that I will not seek out Frank Ryan's company, all right? Is that settled? Is that all right?
Yes. We have an agreement. That's what I wanted.
Fine.
Parties, boys, and drama. Oh my! Catch up with the 5 sexy singles who are putting a new spin on Southern charm. Don't miss an all-new Southern Bells Louisville, Thursday at 10 on SoapNet.